All right, folks. Welcome to another Discord office hours. It's been quite a busy summer, so there's been a shortage of these, but I'm super excited to be back. And today I've got a special guest, Sam Vales. Probably most of you know him in the community as sv1, and probably also in the wider music community you know him as sv1. Sam, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
A little about Sam. He's Texas born and noise raised. SV1 blends power ambient IDM through a lens shaped by rap and raw, rhythmic and a little unstable. Built on distortion, smeared samples and heavy atmosphere, something is always moving below the surface. Music for late nights, low lights, and whatever comes after. I'm sold, Sam. I'm sold. That's where the best stuff happens. The late nights with low light.
Yeah.
Sam, welcome. It's awesome to have you, man. Sam and I have talked many a times via DMs, chats, Discord, Instagram, wherever else. And actually, this is the first time we've spoken face to face in real time, be it virtually.
Real life in a couple days.
Real life in a couple of days. We'll talk about that later. Sam, super stoked to have you here.
Yeah, me too.
So Sam, let's kick it off. I want to know just a little bit about your past, because I don't really know the backstory. I just know the output. Where did you come from? How did you get into Max? How did you discover Max? Like, what's the story here?
I've been in Texas my whole life. I grew up in San Antonio. I started playing piano like around second grade. I wasn't very good at it. Most instruments I'm not very good at besides the computer. I got into music. I feel like this is a pretty average story, but like my brother was like driving me to school one day, and he turned on Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites by Skrillex, and I was like, how do you make this? And he told me about Ableton, and about a year later I had found myself a copy of it, and that's that. I got the box for it for Live 9 intro sitting on my shelf. And it's got M4L built in, and you find it and whatnot, and it's like always this like magic thing. Wasn't really sure what to do with it or how to get into it, but around the time I went off to school, I went to school for electrical engineering, and was learning a lot about DSP at the time, and I kind of wanted to use it or study more of it outside of a academic context.
Yeah.
I don't really get along with school too well. I usually learn best by putting my hands on stuff. I started looking into Max just because it was super relevant to like the courses and stuff I was taking at the time. And now I'm here. So I guess it's going on about 10 years I've been using it.
Yeah, right. Skrillex, I don't know if he's a gateway to Max. He's definitely been a gateway to Ableton Live for many people.
Yeah.
And I have it I have been told that he loves to mess with Maxwell Live. So, I believe he rinsed the hell out of the first version of Buffer Shuffler.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't know much about his usage either. That's how I got to it. That was the pipeline from me to Ableton to Max, I suppose.
Yeah. And I do recall when that Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites EP dropped, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Right. Yeah, I probably gave my parents a heart attack.
I actually discovered it through it was getting played on Triple J in Australia, but I discovered it through Tommy Lee, because I'm a hair metal Motley Crue fan. And Tommy Lee was just so hyped about it, and he'd posted something on a forum about this new EP by Skrillex. So I was like, hell yeah, this is epic.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, nice. So eventually, you're a gateway to Max. full blown Max was like was Max for life.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't have ran into Max standalone without that.
Nice, nice. Do you recall seeing that little edit button at some point? Do you remember when you cracked it open?
Yeah, I think I'd stumbled on it. I think the built-in version I was using at the time was like Max 7, and I had no idea what the heck was going on there. And I was just like, oh, did I break it? How do I get out of this? Age-old story.
No, there's something I do. I mean, I think if that's your gateway, and I can imagine it's something magical to hit that edit button. I do recall hitting the edit button for the first time and feeling like, okay, wow, this is a game changer. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, no, you're right.
Yeah,
Uh,
it makes sense. Just having some kind of extracurricular thing to mess with, and I had been taking like some like programming classes too, so
right, right.
it was just I needed something to make school not so dull.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and I feel like electrical engineering and Max go hand in hand too, in a sense. There's certainly I know a crossover within the community of mechanical and electrical engineers that like to use Max.
Yeah, yeah, definitely have talked to a lot of them, namely Quail. I don't know if he's in here.
I think he couldn't make it, but he was most concerned about your use of Zhongli.
Yeah.
um, that's awesome, Sam. That's awesome. Do you use it at work?
No, no.
No, purely at home.
Purely at home. There's no overlap.
Yeah. Well, no. Sometimes it's nice to keep to keep that divide there. Yeah. Um,
Definitely.
so, what do you recall when it was that you kind of started being like, okay, Ableton's cool, but I want to just keep this in Max? Like,
Yeah, around 2022, um, yeah, DJH is here in chat. Me and him started working on like we kind of had this joke idea for a patch where we wanted to make like a patcher that would just auto generate rap beats. And
nice.
yeah, he was staying over in Texas with me, and we were just messing around with that on the computer, and we got a working prototype together. It sounded horrible, but they're really funny at the same time.
Right.
Like some like weird approximation of what a rap beat's supposed to sound like. And yeah, I kind of kept working on it from there.
Nice.
Yeah, like some time passed, and then I got really bored because I was like working like a dead end position or and I at work, and I needed something to kind of enrich my evenings and whatnot. And yeah, I decided to pick up that project more seriously.
Nice. So yeah, that's very cool. So that was like would you say that was a pandemic kind of spur of the moment, or like kind of that rev
Ooh,
things up?
Not really. I think it was on the tail end of it. Like 2022 is like I think around the time of like Omicron,
Yeah.
we kind of were getting into it. Me and like Philip were working on a lot of like loops and like rap adjacent stuff at the time, and we were making a lot of the same motions and whatnot, and we were like, oh, we could probably replicate this.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know if it had anything to do with COVID, but I mean that's how me and him met was during COVID. But
Right. Right. So there was that connection made in the yeah.
yeah,
Sweet. And I'm just so curious, Sam, about because Max is pretty renowned as being in the academic, experimental, academic, IDM, whatever world. We don't need to go down that road. Everyone's pretty versed in it. But like
yeah.
you're working in this very interesting like rap and beat world that I don't see a lot of Max users working in.
Yeah, that was kind of the niche we were trying to find. Um, yeah, we were like we love all the IDM, more like heady stuff, but
Totally.
we wanted to bring some of like our DNA into that world a bit. And yeah, like I mean, IDM in general is just like it's influenced by hip hop and whatnot, but we hadn't seen much of
Absolutely.
like the, trap pastiche blended with it.
100%. I mean, yeah, IDM has a crossover totally to hip hop beats and trap and drum and bass breaks. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's fascinating. And so you guys are working. I feel like it's a unique realm you're in. And I'm not to say that others are not in this world. Um, but it seems that also this has kind of led others to discover you and discover the power of Max that perhaps wouldn't have.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, cut spaces in chat. Me and him talk a lot about this, but it, like a lot of like ambient rap or like even like a lot of like the trendier stuff right now is all influenced by like IDM a little bit, and it only makes sense. Like I don't know, like to like blend those two things. They're like already doing the IDM stuff. It's like let's put some of the more technical work in,
Right, right, right.
sweat it
That
up.
and this blending of sound design. Like so, you're not just taking some splice packs and mashing them up in Ableton. You're actually generating your own sounds, design your own sounds from scratch, which I think, whilst it takes more time, if I'm to be biased towards you, I think it's giving you an edge for sure. Like,
Yeah, I think the music that I'm able to make in Max, I feel really proud of, and I feel like it resonates more with me than a lot of the stuff I make in DAW. And just knowing that there's been a lot of effort and a lot of like thought put into it.
I think it plays into this general artistry thing where you can see this, especially in the AI world, right now with the AI slop people are just posting. But the true authentic self, right? The artist's true authentic self. Like if you put that out there and people will receive that and see
Yeah.
that for what it is.
Yeah, yeah, and it feels nice to be doing like you can't really get AI to make a Max patch, so you're kind of forced to get dirty with it
I'm
and like
very
you're
happy about that, by the way. I
me
might
too.
I might get pretty. You'll see me pretty angry the day that someone can tell ChatGPT to spit out a JSON.
Yeah.
It can approximate, but it's pretty bad at it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
it's
It keeps these people away.
yeah. I had someone in my comments the other day asking me if I was like vibe coding any of the stuff I was doing and just like
Yeah, yeah.
it's
It
like you
just
can't. You
it,
can't.
I know even the fact that someone's asking that now infuriates me a little bit. I mean, I had a curator ask me recently, uh, is some part of your visuals AI generated? And I was like, oh, the fact that I am getting asked that question now is just frustrating, actually.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've only put in all these years of effort just to be reduced to AI slop.
I mean, they asked it out of a concern because they wanted to book me and not have any AI. So that it was a place of concern. But the fact that they still have to ask, whereas 5 years ago that was not even a question, is kind of worries me a little bit. But
There's also these studies showing that it's kind of cooked anyways. I'm not too worried about it.
I think it's cooked because we've got those maniacs at the top of the food chain in an arms race.
Yeah, it's yeah, not to get too deep down the AI
Let's get into the
dude, but
politics, Sam.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a sad thing that the act like of making art is gonna become this like punk thing because people are just AI slopping out like anything.
Well, no, and it's true. I mean, art is a form of protest. Art is a form of resilience and pushing back. I mean, ultimately, art leads people to expand their minds as well. The last thing that most people, the powers that be, want is people thinking outside the box, right? But we
Yeah.
we can leave that. We could
It's
do a
enough
whole
of that.
stream about politics.
Yeah, and not be any more fun.
Yeah, but man, this is super cool, and I think it shows some real maturity that you guys and your collaborators saw this as an avenue to take Max into this kind of sonic realm. That's not, as far as I'm aware, and I've been around a minute, it's seen a lot of Max output. Is an area that's Max doesn't get floated in so often. There's folks in the bass music scene and the beat world that dabble and use it. I know Eprom uses it. There's others out there for sure, but not so much in the rap that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit more of it pop up. But yeah, it's pretty scarce. I feel like a lot of my friends, internet friends, collaborators are like kind of inhabiting that at the moment. It's cool seeing more people use it.
And I was actually thinking about this ahead of us chatting yesterday, and it's like if you're able to grok or understand the possibilities quickly with Max, you can see that this can actually give you quite an edge over a lot of other producers. Like,
Yeah, I think I get just a little bit different output than what I would make in the DAW, and I'd make some decisions a little differently. It leads to some pretty interesting results.
well, it's that thing too, like with Max being a low level environment than say a DAW, less of the creative decisions have been made for you. So you actually have to make those decisions yourself.
And a lot of the like modern rap sounds aren't anything crazy. It's all like 808 drum machine packs, or like, oh, I like the clap that everyone uses. I think comes from the 707. It's all basic stuff. You can
Right.
get away with a lot with just like a couple filters, a FM synth, or a noise oscillator.
Right.
Yeah, that's mistakenly thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was, and here I am about 4 years later.
4 years later on a Discord stream about Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen the uptake on anything new right now that's like somewhat approachable is so rapid. Like, I think we saw it with Serum 2 recently. Like, Serum 2 dropped, and it's like I could not open YouTube or Instagram without seeing a Serum 2 video or someone making a tutorial about Serum 2. It was just like, and now everyone's using Serum 2, and it's like, okay. And, you see it with other things as well. The Serum 2 one in particular was pretty, I was like, the uptick in usage was in a short amount of time. And it's warranted. It was a significant update.
Yeah, people have been asking that for years. So Serum was just kind of already the flagship VST,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, it was very much associated with, the rise of early EDM in this country in particular, with Dead Mouse and Skrillex, and yeah. Although I think Skrillex was more machine than Serum, but
yeah, he was like a Native Instruments guy, I think, like FM8.
Right. Yeah. So Sam, I believe you have some stuff to show us, and I'm sure I'm going to come up with more questions here in a second. But folks, you're in for a real treat today, because we're not just going to talk it up. Sam actually has some stuff to show us.
Yeah, I'll show you the most recent iteration, and maybe if that runs out, I'll go through the previous versions, but no guarantee that they're gonna work and or not crash. Yeah, I've been working away on this since Tom gave me the email a couple weeks ago. Gave me a reason to get busy. Let's see if this works. Can you see that all right? We're seeing...
Yeah, coming through clear. Everyone
Cool.
see that okay?
Perfect. I should have my DSP and whatnot set up, but yeah, we'll get into it in a second. Yeah, this is the most recent iteration of our original algo plug patcher. um, yeah. Where should we start? What are we interested about?
Let's just let it rip for a second,
Yeah,
Sam.
that's a good call.
Yeah, let's hear some
Yeah, I
sounds.
got the patter storage and all that working, so I was able to get some demos in this morning.
Nice. We can get into the nitty gritty after, but I always think it's nice to just hear it first. And folks, you can fire away with your questions in the chat. I'll keep tabs on those and be sure to bring them up when Sam has a moment.
I think it's coming through my laptop speakers now.
Did you click on the share sound?
Oh, probably didn't.
Yeah, gets me every time.
Yeah, my fault.
All good. So just exit out of screen share.
Let's run that back. My fault. Share sound.
I wish Zoom would put in a preference to just have it be automatically shared. Drives me crazy.
Oh, it's sharing, but it's still coming out up top. That's really spooky.
You might need to reselect your output from Max to
go. I'm in the. Sorry, technical difficulties. Yeah. Oh, I'm selected on record box aggregate. My fault. Now I'm writing in the screen. Sorry, I don't mean to be train wrecking right now.
No stress.
Yeah, it just crashed. Bear with me.
Yeah, there we go.
Hopefully I didn't lose any JSON soldiers. Every time this thing crashes, it likes to delete my JSON file. With
that
all
is
my dates.
that is not good and a bit of a worry.
Probably just user error. Okay, I got it working. I'm not trolling everyone, I promise. Okay, yeah, we're up. All right, demo time. Let's hear some stuff. That's what I got for right now.
Wow.
Wasn't able to get a ton of stuff in, but yeah, I mean, two little demos is good enough for now.
We just got a mini sv1 performance, folks. Leave your money at the door, okay? Sam, everyone's firing off questions. I can't even keep up right now. The first question is from Stefan. How do you go about making the UI?
That's a hard one. I mean, you can see like nothing's like JS UI or anything. It's all built-in objects. I guess maybe a better question is like, what are the decisions that inform how this thing looks and behaves? And that's a whole can of worms.
Yeah, there's a kind of follow-up question too, like, you know, what kind of, I mean, it says aside from Electron, what kind of UIs influenced your aesthetic?
Hard to say. I mean, it's all. I've never had an Electron controller.
Yeah.
This was just kind of like, there's like a no user ID patcher going around that, you know, was doing the page sequencing that I wanted.
Oh yeah.
That helped out a lot. I've got some tweaks on it now, but there's that, and of course, like most of my life has been spent in Ableton, so I guess Ableton UI.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily see the Electron influence so much here, but more of a just overall, you know, max user approach. Uh, I mean, I think it's hard not to hang out in the world of Macs and not be, we're all influenced by our peers, and there's some incredible patches floating around. Um, Crosspatch, yeah, someone mentions Crosspatch. I mean, Crosspatch, just gave us an easier UI to interact with the matrix tilde finally.
Yeah, it game changer. It makes all the routing super easy.
Yeah, and you could do it with matrix control back in the day, as we've all seen in those infamous Auteca patches where they just got all the dots right, but it was just kind of because there was no built-in labeling for matrix control. It makes it harder to know what you're routing to what.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see cross patches there with the multicolors down the bottom in the middle.
Mm.
Sam, you didn't used to use it, right? Is that somewhat newer?
Yeah, I mean the last year's patch was like all based off of the, infamous Autech or unreleased clips where they have like the dynamic bays and stuff. Um, but unfortunately, I'm not quite smart enough to get the same level of performance they are. I was running into a lot of issues that kind of got me stuck for a while. But this seemed like a kind of a quick way to get some creative routing in, without having to set up dynamic bays and changing signal path and whatnot. This just works.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about it is it is just a front end for matrix tilde, and you can add ramp. You can add an at ramp to fade between settings, which work if you preset it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great. Sam, what's up with the tabs up the top? How are you implementing those?
Um, so originally I was gonna do one instrument, one tab,
Yep.
but I didn't have enough controls to, warrant all that screen space. So the signal flow is like left to right. So this sequencer goes to this synth, this sequencer goes to this synth. So the first one is just like three different samplers I have. The top one I've been using for a really long time. I actually think it came from, I think it was your snow phaser example.
Nice.
Yeah, the quick like granulator type thing with MC and all that. Um, the second one is like a slicer, so I can you select how many slices of the sample I want, how fast I can speed it up, slow it down. There's a stretch on it, and then like quantized windowing for it,
Nice.
like a randomized button. And
Is that groove with the stretch? Is that groove based or?
yeah, anything you see that's all three of these are like just groove engines with some stuff on top.
I love some time stretch groove though. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something to that algorithm too, like in groove.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Most of the time I just leave it on basic, but I really like monophonic too.
What's funny is monophonics is not monophonic.
Yeah.
but it's just low bit rate.
That's
Because I
funny.
if you put some stereo material through it, it's you'll see it's actually still left right. But yeah,
Gotcha. Huh.
um, it yeah, I love those low bit rate mono. You can also cave it in a fun way if you go high quality, and when it caves, it's kind of like quite nice.
I gotta mess more around with that. I've been kind of like not messing with the DSP side of stuff too much because I've been so focused on the system, right? I have all these patches that I've had for years, and I like what they do, but like my interaction and like saving the storage, all that has I wanted to get all that done first.
Right,
So
right.
I think I'm finally got my foot in the door with like something that works, and then I'm gonna work on more creative sequencers, more creative synths and oscillators and stuff. But right now, these are tools that I'm familiar with and I was able to plug in pretty easily.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of it's the age old dilemma all Macs users have is like once you get to a system of this length, girth, weight, you have to start to actually be a little more careful about how quickly you integrate things, especially if you have shows coming up,
Right.
so you don't break stuff. I mean, I just iterate regularly and I save new versions regularly so that I can revert at any time if I go too far.
Yeah, I got mine all in GitHub right now, so it's pretty easy to roll back if I mess something up.
Vital. It's just so important once you get up to this kind of point, because just the smallest thing can bring it to its knees, and then if you can't roll back, yeah.
Yeah, I lost a lot of like my patter storage JSON files last summer that had a lot of like the songs and clips that I was posting.
No.
So all those are gone. The only thing I have left is the recordings. I've made my peace. I feel like I'm pretty okay with losing files at this rate. Like cut space especially. I'm always working on something and like sharing screen with him, and I'll just close the patch out without recording everything and anything, and he gets so mad at me for not recording.
I mean, it's part and parcel. I mean, I think the beauty of computers now is that we can move so rapidly and so quickly. But yeah, trying to remember to take the moment to record something and capture it is sometimes not at the forefront of your mind, especially if you get into a nice flow state and a few hours have gone by and you're like, wow, that was some cool music I just made.
Right. Or if you like right now, the big thing I was running into was I'll save something into my little grid here, and then I didn't save right, and so I like, lose something that I worked on. I like spent all today getting all the bugs out on storage, so I can at least come back to them.
Right.
I've lost so many songs.
Damn. Yeah, I learned the hard way, not in Max, but many years ago with a failed external hard drive and lost like an entire year's worth of photographs and all sorts of stuff. And this is 20 years ago now, and it's like it's still, now that my memory's fading, it would be nice to have those photos, but
Yeah.
I got very serious about backing up after that.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of hard drives now, and I got things backed up to repo, and I got Dropbox and all that. So
Nice.
yeah,
There was a
contingencies for
question.
contingencies.
Philip was asking. Philip Meyer was asking, do you use projects?
Yes, all this is in a big project right now.
Nice.
It's not one condensed patcher. It's a B patcher with all the like a bay for everything to sit, and that's how I'm able to get the paging going on.
Nice.
And there's all the modules you see are their own individual patch below that. Yeah, it's all in one big project.
Okay, so the paging, aka the tabs up top, so that's switching to different B patcher views. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so that was a
like,
question also
right there.
that was here from Sebastian. Yeah, someone was asking about tabs.
Yeah, I saw that too. I wasn't sure if they were meaning the tabs or like how I arrived at the contents of the tabs.
Nice. They look super slick, and so I was also like, that's not just like some Apple tabs and different yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it's a live.tab, and then just changing offsets there. I have it mapped to some hotkeys, so Shift 1, 2, 3, 4 takes me to those, and then Shift Q takes me to the effects page.
Nice.
Shift W takes me to like my main bus.
Nice. You seem to have pared back color a little more, even more so, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I like the pink.
Yeah, I do, and it seems that you've used it quite well to be able to, get to a destination or get to a new area of your patch, or with your eyes to see it and quickly switch to it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think this is important, especially if you're playing live with this patch in a dark environment. Um, I do remember some of my earlier Max patches were like very psychedelic, and in a dark environment playing live, it's actually not conducive for finding your way in your
Yeah,
patch.
we'll see how this holds up. I'm not, no, it's not quite ready for a show, but I think I know where things are pretty quickly. There's like just enough controls on screen, and there's like a big contrast. I didn't have any like reason for the colors. I just like them.
Yeah, no. I like it. I like a bit of pink against the dark. It's great. Izzy was like, "Oh my god, hotkeys is genius." Definitely stealing that. I might have to steal that too. I rarely think about implementing some kind of hotkey, but
Yeah,
it
the
is
the
smart.
sorry. Yeah,
No, you're right.
the old version I had, I was kind of talking to you before we started the call, but I have all the I ditched all the pop-up windows.
Yes.
Like I was using all of like my actions, like just moving or closing windows, and that's just a waste of time. And it was like troublesome to have multiple windows on the screen. Sorry for the clickbait on the invite, but yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to bring up that version of the system. It's been crashing on me a lot lately.
Yeah,
Um,
did you find that you were kind of losing your way with that a little bit? Especially, I mean, there's that context, right? When you're at home and you're like, no pressure, time is endless, this works, and then you go to play live and you're like, this is chaos.
yeah, I anytime I was doing a clip or recording, I'd be trying to perform it, and I just all of my time was spent getting the windows in the right position, or finding the right window to open, or making sure it doesn't overlap with the bus so I can fade and turn off channels. I just, yeah, like wasted APM.
Yeah, yeah. I I think the Auteca guy. I think Sean mentioned that they actually are just setting um, the window. Each window has its own space and its own. They basically sending a message to this patcher to set it to be in a particular spot on the screen, and that's where it stays. Um,
Yeah, they had the pop-ups too. I'm not sure how they're interacting with those in a live context, but yeah, I'm sure they're like modal something, but
mm.
yeah, I don't know how they're doing it. I'm not sure we're meant to know it.
No, no, we're years behind knowing where they're at right now,
Right.
by design.
Yeah,
But
it's more fun that way.
no, it's totally good. And Sean is actually pretty. He shares a lot more these days than he used to. Actually,
No doubt.
yeah. I mean, I've seen him even giving people patches on Mastodon, which is crazy,
That is
um,
crazy.
and super cool.
Yeah.
Someone here has enjoyed the Splinter album a lot. It's very inspiring. How you'd like your sound to evolve in the future? Have you been experimenting with any new techniques for synthesizers? Is there a new project in the works?
No new project right now. I just got like Cosmic Joke out, and that wasn't really even supposed to come out. I'll talk more about that later, but I finished this, and I'm planning on making like an EP or an LP using it. I've had this idea to make a project all in Max for a while. I thought I'd be closer along with it, but the last two iterations of this just weren't really comfy to use. In fact, they're mostly pain to use. Um, so I think I'll be able to get something out with this. Like the tools here, I'm well familiar with, and they kind of fit the current palette that I'm looking for. So I think next project will come out of this somehow, and I think the writing will go pretty quick. I got a couple songs done like while I was working on this. I was just trying to record a little bit out every time I opened it up, just so I could prove that like, okay, at least I can get like sounds out that work. I didn't really want to like test music capabilities until the very end.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, next one will come out of here, I think.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear a full Max album from you. That's super exciting. You kind of embody this thing that I like to say, that Max is a journey, not a destination, and it's very exciting to see you transverse through this journey and iterate, on your past work in both Max and sound. So I'm quite excited to hear what comes next from you, Sam.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I found myself making a lot of the same motions in Ableton or like FL, and that I felt were pretty translatable to here. Like, there's a lot of samplers in here. A lot of the like rap workflow is like your friend sending loops and then you flipping them,
Yep.
and this is like perfect for that. I'm able to get a lot of the same sounds out, but with like a little more unique flavor on them that it'd be hard to get otherwise in like FL or Ableton. I probably could just gut this whole thing and make it all for Ableton, but I think that's a little less fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I, I have some hardware, I have some other stuff. I grapple with this myself sometimes. Like, am I hurting myself? But like, there's something, I think with art, so often, music, the outcome once you put the thing out is so, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to be received. Even your live performances. So you have to enjoy the process, because that you do have some control over. And if you enjoy it more by being just in Max, or being in Max and Ableton, or being Max and some hardware, then that's probably the spot to be. Like,
Yeah, I spend a little bit of time in Ableton just because I'm able to get ideas out more quickly. But like solo music now, I want to come from this. I'm not like I don't really have a lot of fun writing like a solo album in a DAW right now, and that'll probably change. It always waxes and wanes, but
mm,
if I'm trying to get like beats out or get stuff for Philip or Cut Space, people who are like working in industry.
yeah,
I'm usually in DAW because it's quicker and it's easier to share stems. Like this, I'm not set up to any crazy mixer. I just hit the record button. It gives me a single file out.
yep,
I could probably do something a little more sophisticated, but yeah, I just wanted to get something ready. I might stem it, but in an ideal world, what I'm recording out of here is going straight to streaming services.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, a really easy thing to do to stem it out is, you can just do a pack into a MC DAC, which you can run at the same time, and then just record a multi-channel wave.
Yeah, that'll probably be the move if I want to get more serious about the mix, but I mostly just soft clip everything and it sounds good.
Yeah, here's the soft clipping.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. That's how we know we're serious, folks. Philip Meyer has a question here. What music possibilities does Max open up to you compared to a DAW? I think we kind of covered that a little bit just now, but maybe you want to elaborate.
I'm probably the wrong person to ask about this, but of course, like better, like, or I don't know, I want to say better. I mean, all this stuff like Philips put out with like the new MIDI devices open up a lot of world for nonlinear sequencing, but that's to me seems the obvious one, albeit I'm not doing a lot of that right now. Um, Custom effects, like I Quail told me about this one, but like I have a median filter in here that's like from the FrameLib library.
Yep.
Uh, those kind of tools that don't exist in Ableton already. I just like the tinkering. I think a lot of the stuff you could do in Ableton with higher fidelity, but to me this is just more fun, more engaging, gets me to be a little more busy, use my brain a little harder.
Yep. I
Um,
mean, you're an engineer after all, so
yeah, I'm a tinkerer.
yeah. I'm not surprised that you're a Max user. I I think what you're kind of, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but something I like about Max, and I think probably why you like being, is that like the accidental discoveries through the pushing what you're creating forward lead to creative outcomes that they just don't come as naturally in a door.
Yeah, I think so too. I have a lot more happy accidents in here. Like if I'm in Ableton, I get a little too surgical.
Yeah,
I've been using that program for 12 years now.
right.
I'm doing the same motions. It's kind of hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I'm not that old, but like
You're not even that old, Sam.
no, just like the motions are kind of like ingrained in
No,
me.
I know what
Like,
you mean. Like the interface is, apart from the additions of say the MIDI tools and stuff like that in Live 12, and Granulator 3, these kind of peripheral additional devices, the UI is unchanged largely, and so I know what you mean. You just go for the same motions. That's like muscle memory. Which leads to similar results, maybe slightly different sound.
yeah, I've been trying to force myself to use my brain a little differently. I
Yeah,
was jumping around between different like programs and whatnot. Like I spent like 4 months in Reaper. I spent a couple months in Reason. I use FL probably more than I use Ableton right now, which I think a lot of people are gonna think is heresy. But
mm.
FL is so much fun.
No, it's honestly, I'm an advocate of whatever works for you. Like whatever helps you be creative. Like it doesn't need to be Max. It doesn't need to be Ableton. Like whatever. If it's beating a piece of wood against a tree outside, it somehow enhances your creativity. Fucking do it. Like
Yeah, oblique strategies and all that.
yeah. Yeah, bleak strategies for sure. There's a multimeter artist, Eric Singer. He's been around a long time. Super incredible video artist. And I was playing a show, and he was quizzing me about my system because he was very curious that I'd made this completely contained, max and visual and lighting system. And he's like, "Does it surprise you? Do things occur that you don't expect with your system?" And I said, yes. And he goes, well, you've made an instrument. And thought that was very interesting to me. And does that happen to you in this case, in this system, Sam?
Yeah, definitely. I do a lot of similar motions, but there is some. If my pattern saves wrong, I get something back and it sounds better, that's cool. Or like if I make a motion I wouldn't otherwise, or if I can visualize sequences a little differently, I'll make more happy accidents. And I'm in the process of getting my I'm plugged in right now, but I've got a couple MIDI surfaces.
Nice.
I'm gonna get these all mapped up to it, and it'll give it some better performance capability. I've got another one here. I've got two sets. Korg Nano Control and a Novation Launch Control XL. But yeah, I'm gonna get those all mapped up, and I'm gonna be able to perform it. I'm making this whole thing with the intention of whatever I make in it, I want to bring to a live setting, kind of similar to what you're doing.
Yeah, someone asked that earlier. Is this the system that you're using to play live? Someone actually asked, are you using this system on Saturday for the data gig?
Unfortunately, I wish I was. I'd had in my head that I wanted to do it, but it's not ready. It's not ready. And I got too many new songs I want to play anyways. I usually perform out of Ableton. I'm not DJing or anything, but yeah, there's a lot of music I want to play anyways that needs some shine.
I respect that. I'm to a fault. I'm a bit of a. I do like to live on the bleeding edge myself, and it's not always wise. And I respect that you have that. You make that choice not to go there.
I'm gonna. It's just not this one.
Totally
Yeah.
respect. Yeah. Wow. This is cool. Very cool. Someone was asking what is in the middle tab. I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Yeah, I guess I only got through the first tab.
Yeah.
The second tab is drums. So I have 3 like FM oscillators with some add-ons on top.
Yep.
The sequencers here look a little different. So in the sampler section, it's like velocities and just turning the sound on and off. But here they actually have triggers with velocity, and then there's like a ratchet going on below. So if you
Nice.
like type in three, you'll get a three clicks out instead of just one.
Yep.
Um, yeah, you can blend between an FM oscillator and a noise oscillator, and there's like it kind of snakes. So like that kind of. There's a pitch bend on it, an envelope for this comb filter I have here,
Yep.
um, reassignable filter there, some like a downsampler, just a degrade object, and like a volume LFO, so that's fun. Yeah, all those are the same. Do a lot of the same stuff there. This is a patch I got off of YouTube a very long time ago. I'll see if I can link it and I'll later. But it's utilizing the like Xerox object. It's like detecting zero crossings and then
Yep.
like or like moving your sampler around, and you can turn it on and off like for more randomization. But yeah, this is like kind of like more sound design tab here.
Nice.
Similar sequencers. This is I have two bass oscillators. Top one's just simple FM with more on top, and then the bottom one is like a feedback FM.
Yep.
I'll get a sound out of it. If it wants to work. I'm on page 4. Yeah, when you turn the feedback up,
Oh, lovely.
yeah, nice and dirty sounding. And there's like
Yeah.
a filter envelope on it. Um, and those can talk to one another. The bottom
Ah.
tab here is like a side chainer. It'll receive incoming triggers and mute the other one.
Yep.
So if I want 10 to talk to 9, I'll do that there and vice versa. And then the dots underneath are mutes.
Yep.
So yeah, you can control like length and whatnot. And then they're all set with like the domain message on
Yep.
the envelope. The next tab is all my auxiliary effects channels. The top one is just the YFR or YAFR reverb.
Yeah.
It's built in.
Classic.
Yeah, it just sounds good. It works. They're all like horizontal again, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The second channel is 3 effects. The first one is this patch that's kind of infamous on the forums called the Quasar Waveguide.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that one just sounds awesome.
it
Um,
does.
the next one is a flanger I made a couple years ago. It's just like a kind of some self homework, teach myself how to do all the basic effects and whatnot.
Nice.
And the third one's a chorus. Uh, Median filter into a compressor because that one it likes to get a little unruly. And then the last one is a delay and then a resonator I made a long time ago. There's a couple effects that I made that were part of this pack called Resonant Rain. It was like a lossy device and then a resonator I made and then into a chorus. And all those effects are kind of scattered around here. I don't have the lossy in right now, but I don't really use that one so much these days. And yeah, this is just two biquad filters in line with a delay in the middle, and then you can change what type they are.
Yep.
And then these on this side are randomizers for each. So the top lane is the first filter, and then the delay line there, and then the second filter, and then just randomization, just get some movement in. Yeah, it's all pretty straightforward. I think the real fun stuff is in this tab. So, oh yeah, all these I'll link later, so everyone knows. I want everyone to have these. They're good stuff. Yeah, all of these can be the dry wet can be modulated with these sequencers here. You just click in the square, and then that will make it so it receives from wherever modulator you want to receive from. This one up
Nice.
top is something that I've been working on, but I can't quite get right. It's quite buggy. but it's supposed to be a clone of Grosbeat from FL.
Right.
Um, it's really clicky. I'm working on it, but that's just sitting on the main channel. I always put that one on the main, and then there's like a built-in like scratcher for it, so you can get some kind of DJ type effects.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the gist. Nothing too much crazy. The last little bit is an EQ with four bands, a soft clipper here, and then the OMX peak limiter on the end.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Someone was asking, do you use a random in your patch to generate ideas? That was a good question.
I need to set that up. That's something I'd really like to have for the sequencers.
Yeah, I have that JS param provider workflow on it's on my website, which is actually great. If you've built your UI using live dot devices or any parameter enabled live UI objects,
Yep.
it's super cool because you can set a middle point and then just deviate around it.
Oh, nice.
And the JS just gathers up any exposed parameters within the UI, so you don't need to actually go around and like do anything really other than drop this in, set the middle state, whatever that is, and then yeah, Philip, that's the parameter info class. It's super fun. I mean, I'd say it's in an experimental state that I have it on my website. It could be expanded upon so much more. Works in Max for Live too, actually.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
But it's
some more random.
Yeah, it's a super fun way to just bring random in so effortlessly without really patching much at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I need that. I'm still early. I just wanted to get something basic out. It's all deterministic right now, but
yeah, throwing random in while you're still building is sometimes not helpful at all. Ellen is asking about the waveguide patch. I know the one you're talking about. I'm not sure where the link is for that though.
It's on the Max forums. If you look up, I think it's like triangular waveguide, and it's something by a user named Quasar.
Anyone got the link handy so I don't need to go find it? I know the one you're talking about. It's been hot stuff for a minute. It does sound incredible. I think it got ported to Gen. Someone ported it to Gen as well.
Yep, that's the one.
Ah, sweet. There we are. This is why you turn up to office hours, folks.
Yeah, it's all works. I just threw some like IO on it. It all works in box. Most of these controls are what's already there.
Yeah, I have not, other than just opening that patch and playing with it for 5 minutes, but I was like, oh man, this thing rips. Like,
yeah, I needed that one because I wanted something similar to like Ableton Corpus without having to like do a bunch of physical modeling on my own, and that one gets there. I use Corpus a ton.
Corpus is a classic. I mean, you put some chords, stabs into it, put anything into it, and yeah, magic comes out the other end. We got some other questions here. Let's see. Oh yeah, office hours with Alexander Panos. Someone's asking when that is.
Need that.
Let's see. Ken certainly. How do you?
Oh. While we're on the subject of Alex, by the way, credit where credit's due. He's helped me a lot throughout this whole process. He's like he's in the Discord all the time, but like I talked to him a bunch over the last couple years, and yeah, he helped me get this whole like ratcheting sequencer up and running. I had a big bug that like I was stumped on for like 4 months, and yeah, he solved it for me. Yeah, so just big thanks and shout out there.
Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about here is just why this is such a great community. I think, I mean, I'm a part of other communities, but there's something in particular about Max that brings people together, and it's funny, you were reeling off like where this patch came from and where that patch came from, and it made me think like we're all, including Walteca and others, we're all in this kind of strange symbiotic collaborative project You know, like we have our own outputs, but we're all in it together. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's nice. We kind of talked to you about it on in DMs, but a lot of people ask me if I'd like give this up one day or whatnot, and I might. Maybe once I get through this iteration, I move on to something else. But a lot of it I just can't give away because it's not mine. I'd probably open source it on GitHub or something, but yeah, I wouldn't sell it.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I mean, you know, I don't ever expect anyone to immediately share anything. Everyone shares when they're ready and confident, right? It's hard. It's like, you know, I think the nature of Max is that there's this creativity that even goes into the programming of the patches. I think you and I talked about this, and that even releasing a patch, depending on what it is, kind of says something about your artistry.
Right.
In a way. You know, it's not like releasing a bundle of presets of, you know, operator or something. Although they kind of say something about your output as well, in a sense. But there's something about, you know, your Max programming. But yeah, I mean, we're a sum of the parts, all of us.
Yeah, it takes a village.
I there's no way of working this out, but I do always think, like, I wonder how many creative patches are out there that Simple FM lives in. Like, hundreds of thousands. How many tracks released in the world does Simple FM come up on? Like,
It's got a ton of uses.
Yeah.
I haven't found my limit with it yet.
I mean, this has been going on for over 20 years. I think it was one of the first abstractions that made it into Max. Like, taking it out actually breaks a lot of stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there was a moment where the Simple FM abstraction, when we were, you know, Max 9 was in development, and we took the abstractions out, and it broke like, it broke a lot of my patches.
Crazy.
I was like, good, let's put it back in quickly. Please.
Revert.
Please.
Roll back.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, it's a classic. It just works. It does a thing, and you can make all sorts of stuff with it. Folks, this is pretty cool. It's pretty awesome to have someone like sv1 who's, you know, not just making epic patches, but he's out there, he's playing live, he's producing, he's collaborating with other quite renowned producers. Sam, this is incredible. It's exciting to see early stages of a kind of new iteration of your system.
Thanks.
Folks, while we have Sam here, what are your questions? Is there anything else you'd like to know? While you're dropping your questions in the chat, Sam is actually playing this Saturday at Data Labs in Austin, and I'm pretty stoked to say that I'm also playing with Sam. So I'm going to be out there in Austin, Texas on Saturday, playing with Sam and also Alex DL. That'll be a good one. If any of you are around, come and check it out.
Alex is a great show. I've seen a number of his performances.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him play. It looks incredible.
Yeah, super stoked. Everyone in the lineup's really great.
Yeah, there's
super
also
stoked to see your set. So
thanks, Sam. There's a workshop earlier in the day, in person too. If any of you want to check it out, but just go to Data Labs website. I'll post a link in a second here, but. Yeah, what are your questions for Sam before he takes off? We're getting to the top of the hour here.
yeah, I could try opening up some older stuff if you're interested. I know no guarantee it'll work though.
Yeah, what's the gen? What level of gen is in here? Someone's asking, like, how much gen stuff squeezed into these B patches?
I might have to switch to full screen so we can start opening stuff up. Let me try that real quick. Here. All right. Wait, I don't need to do that. This might break a lot of stuff. We'll see. Not a whole lot. a lot of like all the effects I think are gen, like the flanger, chorus, waveguide, um, my other resonator are gen. The feedback oscillator is gen.
Yep.
Um, I had like a gen limiter in there in like an old variant, but it didn't sound very good. Um, I want to do more of it. Like more when I start getting more into like oscillator building and stuff, I'll dig into it. I want to do more of my sequencing in it. I got the Go book. I need to read up
Is
on.
your feedback FM base? Is that Gen?
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
gen.
Feedback
So
FM is where Gen shines. Like because it goes from being vector based to being per sample, and the sound
yeah,
is night and day in its difference.
let's open that one up. Why not?
Someone's asking when are you gonna play in France.
I'd love to.
I think
Need
the
more
answer
PTO.
is someone just needs to book him and pay for his flights, and he's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the whole oscillator right here. It's really not a lot. I got this from somewhere. I'm blanking on where this one came from, but
Yeah, it's surprisingly. I think Gen still is a black box for some people, and honestly, the Go box is the Go box. The Go book is the place to start these days. The Gen thread in Discord here is very active and is full of incredible information, including having our main Gen developer Graham Wakefield, who is in there all the time answering questions. But like Sam shows here just now, when you open it up, it doesn't even look that different to simple FM. Um, yeah.
this is like the first iteration here.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, I actually got the idea for the one I have currently because this was originally the most like performant version I have of it. Um, yeah, but this has all like the windows and whatnot. Um, doesn't sound nearly as good, but yeah, I had a lot of song ideas in it. I can demo those out if anyone's interested. But yeah, this is like the original one, and it was all like B patcher pop ups.
Yep.
Everything was in like little sub patchers, and the button was just opening up with the P control object.
Yeah, this is the version I've seen. I mean, it did its job, and I think the beauty of Max is that there's no. It's a and this is the dilemma as well. Like it's a blank patcher that opens up, and no one, there's no set. I see people asking for this, like, how do I make a UI? How do I make a max performance system? And it's like, I think if someone tells you how to do it, then sure, you can probably build something, but you're ultimately going to find ways that you want to change it with use. And that's what's
Yeah.
happened to you, it seems, Sam. Like you've decided that earlier iteration you struck problems, or you had stuff that was consuming time, and you're like, well, this is how I'm gonna make it better.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted all the like signal paths from like the modular system, but I wanted all of like the performance of that one I just showed was like the pattern switching is really fast, like the CPU usage is low. Pattern storage works on that. I had such a pattern storage is the bane in my existence right now. And it's really hard with the whole modular setup. Um, I'll see if I can bring that one up because I want yeah, this is like the whole reason why I left this. This was the next iteration with all like the dynamic bays. I'm not gonna try to load a module in because it's gonna crash the program. I think there's a folder dependency issue.
Right.
But each of the sub patchers have their own pattern storage in them.
Yep.
And so every time I'd make a change to a patch, I'd have to save the lower level patch
Yep.
and then I'd have to save the upper level.
Right.
And that's really painful.
Yep. It
Um,
is.
and I also ran into an issue where if I'm running the same instance of a patcher, I'd write to one, but the change wouldn't reflect in the other.
Mm,
So what I was gonna do is I was gonna set up like a store next button that would grab all the next presets, and then I just hit a save on the top. But because of the instantiation issue, I couldn't get around it. This one would work, but yeah, the pattern storage is the big like uh block there.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a perfect way. But obviously the best way is where you're not having to save out every little lower level thing. I've heard people of dumping, for the lower level dynamic patches, like people dumping the parameters into a dict and saving that out so that, I haven't gone down that road myself. I do have a working example of it, but as far as incorporating it into a bigger system, it's not something I've personally explored, but I believe that that's how a lot of folks are handling that dynamic loading of lower level patches and with a higher level top level pattern storage system.
Quail has talked to me a bit about it, but also I left this one because I found myself loading up the same stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just extra clicks. I was like, oh, I can just hard code this.
Right.
And then pattern storage works, and I get the performance of my first system.
Right. So your newer system is more efficient?
Yeah, I'll thumb through the files, but like it's really snappy.
Nice. What's your CPU usage kind of on the new one? That's
it's
pretty.
Here in the top left. It's pretty light. I found out about that multi-threading from your AMA the other day, and that's brought it down quite a bit.
Oh no, that's a big one. Like that's halves my CPU usage. Just turning on enable mixer and parallel processing. Yeah.
You'll notice that I'm in max 8 right now.
I didn't notice.
There's
no toolbars. That's how I can tell, really. I mean,
I can't run this in max 9. The UI drawing is too expensive, I think. Or I might have to enable that multi-threading mode, but also the if you look at like preferences, if you go look at scheduler for it, I have all the like the throttling is way up, but it's lopped off in max 9 for some reason. I might have a bug or something, but my max 9 is throttling my CPU, so I can't run it. We'll figure that one out. I just needed to have something.
Yeah, we might need to talk off channel about that one. That's I'm not sure what the answer is there.
Yeah, I want to play with the new toys in max 9. But yeah, I just settled on this because it worked for this presentation. I'll move up eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get back to your question about how snappy it is, like it loads in just like that.
Wow.
It's really fast. I haven't set up like more scenes yet, but this little box here, I can type in a scene or a storage slot, and it'll jump to it on the next bar. And seems like it works so far.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty snappy, and it's low.
Right.
I don't think I'm running any crazy stuff under the hood, so I think that's why I'm able to get away with so much.
Yeah, that's impressive efficiency there.
I'm on an M1 machine too, and that's a game changer. I have like a framework laptop behind me with like a AMD processor on it, and I can't run any of this on there.
No, I mean the switch to silicon was, I don't know. I've never changed computers and been so speechless in terms of the performance increase. It was, incredible, really.
Yeah, it just works.
I was on one of those. They got recalled and stuff, and then it never really got fixed. But I was on one of those Intel i9 machines. And, thinking, oh, this is going to be so powerful, but the i9 Intel chip just ran so hot that it basically constantly throttled itself because those MacBook Pros were so paper thin. It was a freaking nightmare, and the fans were on all the time. It was the worst. The last, usually the last iteration's the best. This was the worst for me. Like,
Yeah, and they had the like butterfly switches on too, so all my keys broke like after a year.
mine got recalled like 3 times and still never worked properly. Like, it was a
Jeez.
nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had this computer for 3 years now, and it's worked the whole time. I even spilled coffee on it. It's IP rated, so
The coffee test. Yeah, I moved from an i9 Intel to a M1 MacBook Air, and which is such a weird switch. But it was like, I think that was the first Silicon machine they released was on the Air, and it was insane. I was like, what? This doesn't make sense, but I love it.
Yeah, that's what my buddy Henrik uses, and he doesn't really need a Pro. He gets some performance back, but yeah,
Yeah.
you can get away with so much just on an Air. These computers are quite amazing.
Love it.
And no, I'm not paid by Mac.
Yeah, none of us, it's kind of crazy. I don't think they endorse any artists, to be honest, but they should. Sam, you give me an idea here. I think we're going to have to get into this powder storage thing and break it down and maybe make some videos about it, whether it's me or Philip or others, because it is a world of, I've seen so many people grapple with it, and if you just want to do a basic powder storage system, it's fine. But if you want to do something that's a little more, dynamic, it is a world that's, Philip's posting up some stuff here.
Yeah, I actually learned how to do all the powder storage from Philip's videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the documentation too, of course, but that helped me get my foot in the door.
Yeah, there was some early tutorials by Gregory Taylor in the YouTube, but of course they're a bit hard to watch these days because they're in like Max 5 or something and 720p. But the Max UI has changed so much now. It feels like, are we even in the same software anymore? But yeah, it's also improved significantly now because the earlier powder storage stuff we didn't have dict, and dict is actually exposed to powder storage now. So there's a whole range of possibilities there for opening it up.
Yeah, all of my sequencers have a dictionary inside of them. Use that a lot. It's really handy.
Oh, so your sequencers are using dict stored by, and then the dict is stored in powder storage.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really efficient. It's a good data type.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's powder storage can be like Gen, in its vast array of possibilities. But yeah, if you just start small and dive in, for me, it's always been best. I never gelled with snapshots when that came along. It's snapshots is fine, but it's also just like using the preset object in Max. It's like, it's okay for quick and dirty stuff, but if you're going to be serious,
yeah, if you're doing it in a performance context or you're writing music in it, I need that to work every time.
I'm also a fan of writing out different JSONs, right? So I was like, maybe the overall patch state hasn't changed, but I'm writing new material. Writing being a very loosely used term, but writing new material in my Mac system, and I'll save like different months,
Huh. Yeah, I have mine set up so that if I like run out of slots or I want a new palette, I can load in a new JSON.
Yeah. Providing you don't change the scripting name of your UI objects, it's surprising what you can load in from old JSONs. And actually, you can get some happy accidents.
Yeah, no doubt. Gotta try that.
Yeah, it's funny. It will, it will sometimes spit out some random stuff. You're like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's
Nice.
interesting hearing the like unique ways people interact with it, like when you're not like ways you're not supposed to. Like I was at the Sam's office in New York last year, and he was talking to me about how like he heard that Autechre's like dumping random data into buffers and then emptying out in a really weird way. But in my head, it's like you load audio into buffer, but I'm a noob, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, storing data in a buffer is actually a super efficient way if you're able to translate your data into a value. And you know, with 64-bit floating point, you can put in some pretty wild values and get them back. It's something to it has to happen in the world of Gen because there's no paddle storage and no data storage.
Yeah,
But that's a whole world of possibilities for sure.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean it's something that's another beautiful thing about Max is that you know you can break rules, whatever, or there is no rules, and yeah, who knows what you come up with.
Yeah.
There's not really been there's some awesome knowledge being dropped here by Philip in the chat. Thank you, Philip. Absolute legend, powerhouse Max user, and he's certified trainer, and he also hangs out here in the Max Discord. I mean, I feel like we got a few new folks in here, probably some sv1 fans. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Be sure to come back to the Discord anytime. It's a friendly place. It's an anti-flaming Discord. It's a great spot to hang and learn more about Max. So Sam is here regularly, Philip, Quail, all these people. There's some of one of the things I like most is, and I've seen some of them floating around, is that all the Max engineers hang out as well. So, you know, they like to see what's happening and we'll answer your questions, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, people are usually pretty prompt here. I've had a number of questions that have gotten answered pretty quick here.
Oh, it's insane. I'll be just about to go to bed and I'll like look at the Discord and someone will have asked a question and there'll literally be an answer before I can even type. Someone else will have answered it. It's like it's probably. I think I watched the Facebook group, which is still pretty active, but you know, I don't know. It's a bit hard to be on Facebook these days. It's like logging into Instagram to ask a Max question. It doesn't feel that creative. So I like to try and minimize distractions when I have a question, and this is probably the fastest place I'd say that you can get an answer.
I think like a good thing about talking in a forum too is if you want to ask a good question, you'll be forced to think about the problem you're trying to tackle. And you know what they say, right? Like a problem well articulated is a problem half solved.
Right.
So if you're able to write a good question out, you know, maybe you'll get closer to an answer even without asking a question.
Yeah, and hey, no shade. Someone's like Facebook versus Discord. I mean, no shade on the Facebook group. That Max Facebook group is pretty active too. There's 20,000 odd people there. I just like that there's another environment that's not so caught up in, let's say, politics, for lack of a better term. Yeah. Yeah, so often, Sam, what you just said, I see someone ask a question and then I see 3 or 4 different patches in the replies, and it's great because you get 5 different answers, none of them wrong, none of them right. Like you can then take your best version of that and use it in your system, or yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see the different perspectives instead of getting like a Chegg type answer, you know?
Yeah. I mean, because there is, you know, I think a lot of folks here probably know this, but like there's always 5 or 10 different ways you can do it in Max, and you know, 5 of them are probably neither wrong nor right. Like there's not like whatever gets the job done and is the outcome you want is probably the right answer. Yeah. I do get that sometimes where someone will open their max patch and they're like, how can I make it better? And I'm like, well, how is it not working? They're like, well, no, it's working, but how do you make it better? And I'm like, it's working, it's good already. Like,
Yeah, I think a lot of people look for like best practice, but sometimes there isn't one established yet.
that's actually spot on. And the best practices have even evolved over time with, you know, the changes in computers and stuff like that. So
Like Max
various,
9 behavior and stuff and whatnot.
yeah, efficiencies, things like that, or with the addition of things like MC and Gen, which changed best practices. Yeah. Awesome, Sam. So good to chat with you here, folks. We're probably going to wrap it up. We're at about almost an hour and a half here. If there's any last second questions for Sam, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up.
I'll hang out and chat too after we're off and answer questions.
All right, so
too.
Sam's going to stick around in the chat. And just remember, folks, when the stream finishes, it doesn't mean that the chat actually stays up. So you'll be able to keep chatting here with Sam. Thanks, Sam. I really appreciate you spending your evening with us here. And I hope I hope to see some folks at the Data Geek Data Lab show.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night.
It will be.
For a big turnout.
We'll no doubt have Sam back for another one in the future, when we'll probably see this system even fleshed out more. No pressure, Sam.
Hey, I'm always working.
But yeah, hey folks, thanks so much for hanging out. This has been a blast. I hope you enjoyed it. This will be up on YouTube later this evening. I'll post it in general when it is up. It also will be in 4K, so the resolution will be a little better. You'll be able to really scrutinize Sam's patches and
or take screenshots and take stuff off.
Yeah. And just remember, all of us are hanging out in Discord general and elsewhere, you know, all the time. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Any questions? Yeah. Chill. We'll see you all soon. Sam, hang about. See you later, folks. Nice. Good stuff, man.